$10, but you can't actually buy it for $10 because of add-ons or what have you. Generally speaking, the Commerce Commission looks very poorly on those things. SEO, we don't need to worry about that, it happens automatically, and previous occurrences, we don't need to worry about that. So we then move, that is all the basic information related to your event. Where is it, when is it, how many days does it happen, what are the links, where's the information, so on and so forth. Then we come down to bookings, and this is the primary function of ME Calendar, is for people to book into a program. So booking options, we always leave this set on unlimited, and all the discount user roles is 0. There are roles within memberships, and what this allows you to do is say that if we were to say an AR member, which is what most of our association members are in the back end of the system, if we wanted to give them a 10% blanket discount, the price would automatically go 10% cheaper for them. But we always leave this set to 0. User booking limits, so how many tickets can one person book, or how many entries can one person book? We generally leave it checked because we don't need to, we don't limit that, but if you wanted to, uncheck it and set the number. And then tickets. Tickets are how many different ticket options do you want to have available? Now, if I choose a preview option here, let's look at how this event sits right now. But what we have here is an individual registration, what time, and for the most part we don't worry too much about this because the time doesn't often show in the ticket the way we have our page configured. This is public information and this is private information, so this shows up on the website, this does not. This registration is for a full Senior Academy program. You get 200 now and 170 in 4 weeks time into the program. Private description, we've got these great little question marks here. This is the price that will go on the ticket. This is what they will be charged, and this is where it gets the charge from. $200 Senior Academy is the text that will sit alongside of that. You don't put a dollar sign or anything else in this field, you put it here. How many tickets are available in this option? You can have an unlimited amount or a limited amount, and what is the smallest number of tickets people can have? So 1 is always the smallest number of tickets. This is an interesting option where you can set it to the number of days before the event starts to stop selling tickets. If you do this and you have a multiple recurring event, it will stop selling that number of days before the first instance of the event. Hopefully that makes sense. You can also add prices per date, which allow you to run things like early bird specials, and you can say from this price, from this date to this date, this ticket is this price. We don't often use that, but it is perhaps something to think about for future. And variations are if there are little things you want to add to it, like adding a shirt or a cap or something, you can add a variation, which can have a title, a price, and the number per ticket. Quite handy for merchandise. And that allows them to add it at exactly the same time. Generally speaking, we leave it to as inherited. Now, if we come across to our test event, this is the information that is currently on show for this event. This is our test event. So if we look at James as the primary organizer, every event layout is the same. You don't need to configure any of this, and you can't change any of this. You can only change the content, the location, and the information we've seen. And we do that so that our members get familiar with the same lookout, the same layout, and the same information through and through. So our register button turns up here as soon as we have a viable ticket option. If there are no tickets, there'll be no register button there. The start and finish, first date, and this will always show as the first instance of the program, the cost of the program, and different ways to share it. And this is the map I was telling you about and a way to get directions. Down here is where we book the ticket. This is where we've created our ticket type, our individual registration of $200 Senior Academy. So that word appears because of this word. This is the same text. This is where it gets that information from. Number of tickets. So if I was to choose 2 and then go next, it throws me a bunch of information. It asks me for all the attendee details for 2 people. And in a separate video, we'll explain how this information and how we structure this information in the system. Coming back to our event, we now have our 1 ticket option available. We go to our ticket variations. We are inheriting from the bulk. The booking form, there is a separate video done for how do we build a booking form. The booking form dictates the fields that you see here. So for many different programs, we use different configurations of the information we're collecting, whether it's a gender field or have you played in a grade, what was the school that you go to, what age group are you in at school. For Hockey Without Limits, we have caregiver details. So we actually use a different registration form for just about every single program. Often you'll find that form's already been made because we've already done most of our programs, but you can clone them and replace them quickly. And there is a separate video on this. One of the most important things that these registration forms do is they collect the consent to take photographs, the terms and conditions, and now, under COVID rules, the eligibility on vaccination. These are important because if due to COVID or for any other reason there is a problem, the terms and conditions are available to everyone to look at here, and we've got consent for taking photos of children if that's relevant. These can all be edited in the other video, which will show you how to do this. Coming back to our event, payment gateways, we generally don't worry about this. We only have one payment gateway enabled. This will actually shut it off if you ticket, which means no one can actually pay for it. So we don't worry about that. And then bookings, again, don't worry about that. Once you've done all of these things, and you work your way from top to bottom, move to the right, check that you're in the event listing and that you're in the featured image option, and you simply click on your featured image. This will be very familiar to you if you've built a page or a post, and we select the image we're going to use, set it as the featured image, and you'll see it turn up there. Once we're done, and if you want to see a draft, you save it as draft, and then over here we'll refresh the draft page. That is not the one we want. We'll refresh the draft page, and now we've got the new image. Okay, and that's how that's done. From here we simply publish it. As soon as you hit publish, people are going to be able to purchase this program if they know where to find it. Now, a very important part of the Harbour Hockey website is the automation that we use. And if we go to our home page here, and you go to current programs, you'll now see test event is available. As soon as I hit publish, any program that is currently available that is published will turn up in this list. It is important to remember that because if you are test building a program and you hit publish, it makes it available to the public, and our members are now taught to come to the current programs tab because that will always have our most current programs available right now. So if I click on test event, it will take a second to load, and there's our test event sitting there with all of our sessions, 1st, 7th and 14th, registration, and our form. Once we're through, we're done. And that is how we do a program. It is very simple to register. These are the options where I said it will allow you to edit with Elementor. You don't ever edit an event or a program registration with Elementor. It is always in the event option. Well, hopefully that helps. And if there are any questions, get in contact with us.